let's get to the issues. Let's see if you stand for what my audience likes and what they need to hear. I see that you stand for campaign finance reform. You are for no voter ID laws whatsoever. Before I move past that too quickly, what does that actually mean?
Well, so here's the thing, right? So voter fraud is a non-existent crime. I think John Oliver put it very succinctly when he said, no one is going to stand in line for 2 hours and risk 5 years in federal penitentiary and $100,000 in fine to vote for somebody else. It is a crime that simply does not happen. And to put in these voter ID laws, it's very plain that the only reason that they're put in place is to keep minority voters, who often vote Democrat and progressive, from influencing election in areas traditionally controlled by Republicans. We've seen that's very plain in places like Alabama, where they have closed the offices in which people would be able to go and get these voter IDs only in the primarily African-American communities, severely disadvantaging these people. And it is absolutely unacceptable. It is distracting from real important issues that we need to solve. While we're trying to fight conservatives over voter ID, which shouldn't even be a conversation at all these horrible things are getting passed behind our backs. So that's how I feel about that issue.
Okay. All right. And so in terms of actually, in terms of legislation, are you going to present legislation that across the board, there are no, because that's really a state by state issue. How would you in Congress actually affect that?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of things that could go on with how we deal with voting. I think there's no reason why, like in certain states, we can't have some kind of universal system where folks can either very easily vote from home, which is easier in some places and more difficult in others, or where we can't vote online or digitally. We do our medical care online, we do our finances online. We have the best data scientists in the world, in this country. There's no reason we can't make voting easier for people rather than difficult. And I would look at different ways that we can solve that, but I would also lend my voice to the voice of common sense nationally to say, hey, we can't have these voter ID laws. They're unconstitutional, and we need to push them out.
Okay. All right. So let me move on to some more of your topics, because I know I don't have you for long. LGBTQ rights. You want to defend the freedom of our government from, actually, that's out of place. Tell me more about where you stand, marriage equality, and in particular, what do you want to accomplish as a congressman from New Jersey?